Hey guys, so it's really early in the morning. Like I was up at like 5 this morning. I think it's just gone 6 now. But I was up around about I think like 5:30 ish. Yeah, I've been waking up like really early lately the past couple of mornings, and I think it is just because I'm ill at the moment. I have some sort of weird cold that is slowly turning into some kind of chest infection or something. So that's why I sound really stuffy and whatnot and chesty, because yeah, I've been coughing this morning, yesterday and this morning. Um, and this might be TMI, but the amount of snot, I mean, seriously, it's unhuman. Um, um, yeah, sorry. I've been taking medication for cold and flu, and it's made me a bit um but yeah, uh so basically the last week or two I've been stuck at home with this cold, trying to get rid of it. I mean, it was only a little sniffle at first, and I thought, yeah, it's fine, it'll probably go away in a few days, because usually it used to. But now, because my health's got a lot worse, my conditions got worse, um, my body doesn't fight off colds and flus as quick as it used to. I suppose anyone really, as they get older, their immune system kind of declines a little bit. I think that's normal with age. But I'm 37, and apparently I have the immune system of like a 90-year-old, you know? But I have the heart of a 90-year-old, definitely. Um, but yeah, so like I've been feeling really washed out, knackered, um, and just don't want to get up and do anything. Um, I had to cancel a lot of things that I was supposed to be doing because I literally cannot, you know. I've been trying to keep up with my routines that I started through therapy. Um, and I've been finding that difficult. I've been trying to keep up with like the housework and everything that I've been doing. Um, but any sort of activity, strenuous activity, starts to make me feel extremely dizzy. My heart starts palpitating. I start to feel nauseous, and I feel like I'm about to black out. So I then have to sit down and rest. Um, and I've realised over the past couple of years, when I get colds and flus and stuff, that's generally what happens. Um, it does affect my heart. So I guess when I'm ill, I've just got to stay in bed and relax until I'm recovered. Um, so yeah, I had to cancel a lot of stuff. The main thing I'm really annoyed about cancelling, really upset about, is the fact that I was supposed to do the Shine Night Walk for cancer research. Um, yeah, I was supposed to do that last night. And I was getting ready to yesterday to do it because I was thinking, yeah, I feel a bit better this morning, you know. Um, I'll get some food in me, get hydrated, take some meds, and I'll be fine. I should be able to do it. But by the afternoon, I was feeling dizzy and faint and everything again, and nauseous and all, because I was up trying to sort myself out, get things ready that I might need while I'm doing the walk and stuff like that, and I just got in a fluster with it all, and then just ended up feeling really ill and nearly blacked out. And I discussed it all with John, and he said, yeah, it's probably safer if you don't do it, because if you're out there on the trail doing the walk, because he won't be by my side constantly. He'll be on the sideline. He would have been on the sidelines with my wheelchair, or he probably would have gone and found a coffee shop to sit in, and waited for me to call when I needed him, you know. So, because he would have had my wheelchair, and if I needed it, I'd call him and he'd come running with it, basically. But yeah, I discussed it with him, and he said, yeah, if you're feeling like that, just doing simple tasks, then doing I think it was 10 kilometers walk, probably not a great idea. So he said, don't worry, there'll be other walks. You can do it again next year, maybe. And there'll be other charity walks and charity things you can do throughout the year. So, you know, don't worry too much. Maybe you can do stuff in the summer because your health's better in the summer, stuff like that. So yeah. I went with John's idea and was like, okay, yeah, it probably is safer if I do not do this walk. But we'll have a look in summer, see what we can do in summer. But I've been looking into some of the gaming, you can do gaming for charity now, video games. And I was looking into some of that, so maybe I can set something up there. I have to check all my equipment and research it a bit more, but maybe we could do something like that. Maybe something like a 24-hour stream. I'm not that good with streaming really, but 24-hour stream for cancer research or something like that, you know. But we'll see. But this morning, at least, I did manage to do my one main thing. Is make my bed. it's become a thing now. Making my bed has become a thing. But yeah, so basically, one of the tasks. So during therapy, the BA booklet, it teaches you like how to pace yourself and how to set up routines and slowly ease yourself back into it and stuff like that. So my routine is when I get up in the morning, before I do anything else, obviously go to the toilet first. Everyone does that. Get up in the morning, go to the toilet, do your business. But apart from that, first thing I do in the morning is make my bed, my sofa day bed thing. So I get out of that, make it, then I go and make my cup of tea, come sit down, drink my tea, take my meds, then get up and start doing the laundry, basically, or any other housework that needs doing. So yeah, making the bed now, it's become more of a habit than a routine. I don't even have to think about it anymore. I just get up, make the bed, done. You know, and I think that is the point of the BA therapy booklet thing. That is the point of that, is to get into these routines and do them so much that it becomes second nature. It becomes like muscle memory, or or like, you know, it just becomes habit. You know, you do it without thinking about it, and I think that's the whole point of it. Um, but yeah, it's a thing now making the bed, because I never used to make my bed because I was like, I don't see the point in making a bed. You know, you get out of it, make it, and then you're going to get back into it in the evening and make it a mess again, and then have to make it again the next morning. You know, are you creating work for yourself, kind of thing? That's what I used to think. So I never made the bed. But now can't help but make the bed. It's a habit. So I guess the therapy's working. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling really stuffy and chesty this morning, but yeah, today I'm probably just gonna relax, and probably play some Minecraft again, because John's been a little, pardon me, John's been a little unwell lately. He's had issues with his shoulder and his knee again. So he's trying to relax his knee. So I think today we're going to spend most of the day just playing Minecraft on our Minecraft Realm server. We got some good builds on there, so maybe I'll take some video clips, do a video on there, maybe do a tour if you're interested in that. I did a couple of little reels on Facebook of my Minecraft realm. But yeah, at the moment we are trying to dig tunnels, because on our Minecraft realm we're in a position where right across the map there are these giant snowy mountains that literally almost touch the top of the build limit. Yeah, and basically spawn point is at the top of the map. Our then you have the mountains, and our base that we are building is down towards the bottom of the map. So we're cut off from spawn by these mountains. So we decided, you know what, because on that side of the mountains where the spawn point is, there's a couple of good villages and a couple of good caves and stuff like that. So instead of trying to climb up all these snowy mountains and sinking in the snow and dying, we decided we'd tunnel under the mountain and create a spawn like base. So when people spawn in, they spawn in the spawn base, and then they can go down along the tunnels to our main base and stuff like that, you know. So we've basically been digging those tunnels yesterday, and I think we're almost about ready to start putting in rail tracks. I'm not sure if we're doing a rail track or whether we're going to make some kind of canal to sail boats up and down. I don't know. We've made it wide enough and tall enough so we can use horses and llamas in it as well, you know. But yeah, I could sit here and chat about Minecraft all day. It's one of my favourite games, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, I will be maybe doing some videos on that today. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I am hoping though to get John's help to do some video tutorials on Minecraft, tutorials on how to build some of the mob farms and automatic farms and stuff like that we've been building. Maybe, but yeah, not much else has been happening really. Nothing exciting really, unless you count buying a new air fryer exciting. But to be honest, it is a really good air fryer. I mean, my old halogen air fryer thing, the big round one I had it years. It's really good. It was a really good one. I had it years, like 6 or 7 years, I think, something like that. So it was pretty good, but it ended up, it had a big, massive crack down the side on the inside of it, and it was no longer safe to use. So I had to throw it out. But we bought a new one, and it's one of those double drawer ones. And it's got a load of like space age touch sensitive buttons that are really annoying that don't register my fingers. So I'm now just cook. But it won't work. So I've got to get John to operate it for me because it doesn't recognise my fingers properly. So I just stand there arguing with a machine to cook me dinner. So I guess that's how Skynet started, really. Some fool at an air fryer shouting at it, trying to press the buttons. But yeah, it's the only exciting thing that's happened, really, if you can call that exciting. And my neighbour started off again. He's been quiet and well behaved for months. And I started to believe that maybe he'd moved out, you know. But then the other day, I went in the kitchen and I turned my kitchen tap on to fill my kettle so I could make my morning cuppa. And then, obviously, because the taps in this building, like I've explained in other videos, the tanks are on the roof, the water tanks, because this tower block, and the water comes down from the roof, and there's a water pressure issue, causes water pressure and stuff, and when you turn the cold taps on in this building, there's a hiss. The pipes start hissing, which can't be helped. We've had a plumber out to look at it, and they said, yeah, that's a water pressure issue. We can't fix that. It's all to do with the tanks on the roof and everything. I was like, okay, that's what I thought. You know, can you make a note of that and let the housing people know, so they can speak with him and let him know that, because he doesn't understand that. But I think to be honest, I think he does understand that, and he just uses it as an excuse to kick off with his abuse, you know. But yeah, so I turned the tap on to fill the kettle the other day, and then all of a sudden I heard his tap going on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, as if he was trying to do it spitefully to try and annoy me, kind of thing. And I wasn't annoyed by it because I'm used to the sounds of this tower block. I've lived here 16, 17 years, something like that, you know. So I'm used to all the noises that go on in the tower block. I'm used to the hissing taps, you know. Doesn't bother me. But yeah, then I ignored it and I was like, I'm going to carry on making my tea, whatever. And then all of a sudden I started hearing banging on the wall, and then he started shouting through the wall in the larder cupboard, shouting abuse at me again and stuff. I'm not going to repeat what he shouted. It's the same old stuff, you know. He never changes his insults. It's the same old childish, stupid insults, you know, that we used to throw around in the playground at school, you know. And it's just, yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then he kept shouting and screaming and stuff. I was like, I'm in here sat in the living room with my cuppa, drinking it, and still he's shouting and screaming. So I thought, right, I'll give you a reason to shout and scream. And I went and I didn't need to do any washing that day, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a load of washing anyway. So I put the washing machine on and let that go. And then I heard him shouting and screaming a little bit because I put that on. Because obviously the washing machine is connected to the cold water, isn't it? It plumbs into the cold water. So when I use the washing machine, when it's filling, the taps hiss because it's filling from the cold. And that's the only problem there, really. But other than that, my new washing machine is quite quiet. You know, and everyone's washing machine in this tower block does that, you know. So yeah, and then yesterday, I believe it was, he kicked off again yesterday morning. What was it I was doing? That was it. I went to the toilet. I was using the bathroom. Went to the toilet, sat on the toilet, and I could hear banging on the walls and shouting and screaming. And he kept making these horrible growling noises as if he was trying to pretend to be a monster or some kind of animal or something, I don't know. But like making all these growling, snarling noises through the wall at me and through the air vent. Probably trying to scare me, but I just felt bad for him, really. For if you got nothing better to do than to harass a disabled person whilst they use their bathroom. You know, it's pathetic. But yeah, and then last night he was kicking off. So then our other neighbours, obviously, because they've been hearing him kick off for the last couple of days, they all got involved because recently they've been doing that. When he kicks off, they all get involved and annoy him. So they all put their music on quite loud. And after a while, he shut up, and yeah, he realised he weren't going to win, and he shut up, and it went quiet, and everyone else shut up, and I went to sleep, had a nice night's sleep, which the new neighbours that have moved in above me, yes, occasionally they're quite noisy, but the reasons they're noisy I'm not bothered about, because he has a kid or a couple of kids, little kids. When they come to visit him and stay over, they run round. Obviously kids do that, you know, especially little kids. They like running around and being stuck in a flat. You know, that it's small flat is probably difficult, you know, so he's trying to keep them entertained, running around with them. And obviously you can hear them running about and hear the kids screaming and shouting and giggling and yeah, and hear him shouting and playing with them and stuff, you know. So I'm not too bothered about that because it's during the day, you know, and kids make noise. There's no avoiding that, so that's fair, you know. But next door starts shouting and screaming horrid abuse up to them. The kind of language little kids should not be hearing, you know. So my upstairs neighbour has a dislike for my next door neighbour. So, and on occasion, once or twice, a couple of months ago, next door was kicking off at me, and I put my music on loud so I couldn't hear him. And then I played one track, and then I stopped the music to look for another track. And whilst I stopped the music, upstairs put theirs on. and they put similar style of music that I was listening to. And I stopped and I was like, oh, I like this song, and I was listening to it. Then when that song finished, I put another one on. So it's like me and the upstairs neighbour were trading songs. It was pretty cool. And it shot next door up. So do you know what I mean? I'm not the loud music, yes, late at night when it's playing every day, all night, like next door was doing for 2 weeks straight. Literally put his music on and left it on for 2 weeks, full blast. And it wasn't just me and John getting annoyed with it. It was other neighbours because it was during the COVID lockdown, wasn't it? So nobody could get away from it. So I think he must have put his music on, left it on playing on a loop or some crap, and went out. But he probably left for 2 weeks and wanted to stay with a friend or something. I don't know. But yeah, that when music's played like that constantly, non-stop for 2 weeks straight, full blast all day, all night, that's when I have a problem, you know, because I need to sleep. I think everyone needs to sleep, you know. But when they're just playing it during the day and it's loud, and then they turn it off by the cut-off point by like 7, or turn it down by like 7 or 8 o'clock, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever, play your music. I do it during the day when I'm doing housework. I put my music on, and yeah, because music helps you get motivated, doesn't it? But yeah, and the main thing I don't like is shouting abuse. You know, there's no need for it, especially shouting abuse out the window at little kids that don't even know him. You know, shouting at little kids. Little, like, I think they must have been like 4 or 5 years old, and they were walking along with their mum, probably on their way to school or something, I don't know. And then all of a sudden he started shouting racist abuse at the child. Because the child appeared to be mixed race, the mother was white. He started shouting racist abuse at like a 5-year-old. How disgusting. You know, that really did, I did not like that. It was horrible. And the kid didn't understand what was going on. The kid was just looking around up at him like, what? What's he saying? The kid didn't even understand what he was saying and whatnot. And the mother gave him a dirty look and grabbed the child and hurried off, you know. But yeah, I could go on all day talking about him and the crap he does. He has hate towards anyone who is different, you know. But yeah, so he started kicking off again. I'm expecting it again today. Also, he's been doing the thing of sneaking around the hallways again. Outside, because we have communal hallways outside our front doors, obviously. You come up in the lift to the communal hallway and walk to your door. So he's been sneaking around the communal hallways again, lifting up letterboxes, looking in letterboxes. And the reason I know this is because he kept doing it with mine. Keeps doing it with mine all the time. So what I did was, I got a bit, it sounds a bit crazy of me, I am crazy, whatever, but I got a bit of string, taped it to my letterbox, and tied something metal and heavy. I think I used a fidget spinner, but tied that to the end of the string so that whenever he lifts the letterbox, the string will swing and the fidget spinner will hit against the door and I'll hear it. He's also been trying door handles, and the reason I know that is because, again, I'm crazy. I hung something on the door handle. So if he tried the door handle, obviously my door's always locked. But if he tried the door handle, the thing on the door handle would fall off. Yeah. But I was hearing him yesterday and the day before. He kept coming out of his flat, and I know he's coming out of his flat because the doors all make noise, and he likes to slam his door as well. So we always hear him coming and going. But I kept hearing his door go every few minutes, and I'd hear someone outside in the hallway walking around, skulking around, and when I looked through the peephole, I could see a shadow. I couldn't see a person, but I could see their shadow on the wall when I looked through the peephole. So, shadow of a person moving around. So, yeah, I don't know, I sound a bit paranoid at the moment, but seriously, this is what this guy's doing. I think he also goes upstairs and tries the same thing with their door and whatnot. But yeah, it's really, really creepy. And he's tried breaking into my flat a few times now. I tried kicking the door in. I got it on video through the peephole, him trying to open my door, kick my door open, shouting and screaming abuse at me. I got that all on video, him in the video, clear as day, through the peephole, doing all of that. And even shouting threats to kill me. And apparently that evidence, no good. And even though he was charged and given an ASBO, the rules of the council is if they get charged for it and they get given an ASBO, we can then evict them. He got charged, he got an ASBO. Council still hasn't evicted him. For some reason, the council won't evict him. They keep saying it's the police's job to do with, and the police said, no, we have no ruling over the housing system. And they said, yes, we can go in and help, assist the housing people if remove a tenant, if that tenant is being violent towards them. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But they said, but the police themselves, we do not have power to go in and evict him. That is down to the council, and I believe the council have to go through a court system or something to deal with that. I was like, okay, can you tell the housing people that fact, please? Because they don't seem to understand that. And they said, we have. And I said, well, they keep telling me it's your job to remove him, and you keep telling me it's their job. Nobody's doing a thing. And they said, well, that's the thing. We can't do anything. We're bound by red tape. He said, if it were up to me, I'd go and remove him now for you. But I can't do that because it's against the law, which is understandable. I mean, the police have rules to follow. If they break those rules, then they get in trouble. You know, they could lose their job, their livelihood. So that's understandable. The people I'm angry at is the council, you know, the housing people, because they're just doing the bare minimum. You know, as long as they do the bare minimum of what their job requires, then they're, you know, they're like, yeah, peachy. They won't move me because apparently I'm sufficiently housed in a flat that has black mold growing everywhere, has really bad plumbing, and sewage keeps ending up leaking into my kitchen. Big cracks in the wall on the balcony that seem to be getting bigger. Windows are almost falling out of the frames, like I'm sufficiently housed. My wheelchair is really difficult to get in and out of this flat because it's a tight squeeze in the corridor, and the step over the door is really tricky as well, and we can't put a ramp there. So we have to lift the wheelchair out every time we need to use it. If there's a fire, they turn the lifts off. I can't use the stairs, so I'm stuck then if there's a fire, But apparently, yeah, disabled wheelchair user, you're sufficiently housed. No, I'm not. So that's who I'm annoyed at with the whole situation, is the council. They're not doing their job. They're not doing what it says in the tenancy, but then I found out they don't have to, because they changed the tenancy and didn't tell the tenants. They have a copy available online that you can go print out or go look at, but they've not told anyone about it, and they've not told anyone about any of the changes that they've made in the tenancy agreement. With a tenancy agreement, you're supposed to sign it to show that you agree with the terms of the tenancy and the lease, and all the legal jargon and everything. You're supposed to sign it. Well, this new tenancy they've sneaked in. I've not signed it, so that tenancy is not applicable to me anymore, but neither is my old one. So basically, as a tenant now, because I've not signed a tenancy, I have no rights as a tenant. Basically, that's what that means. So they don't have to come fix my plumbing. They don't have to come fix the black mould. They don't have to evict nuisance neighbours that are causing a lot of abuse and threats and stuff and violence. They don't have to evict that person. They don't have to do jack shit, because no one has signed the new tenancy. So I mean, it's only like the wording. It's the wording that matters in these legal documents. And it's a little bit of wording they've slightly changed. So it changes the whole meaning of like a whole paragraph almost, or a whole page of stuff, But I think they did that sneakily because they've been getting a lot of complaints about nuisance neighbours and about black mould and plumbing and stuff like that. Dodgy electrics. Yeah, we have dodgy electrics. In the cupboard where the sewage pipe is open, and every time I use a plunger on the sink, sewage squirts out that pipe. Yeah, there's electrical stuff, sockets and stuff in that cupboard right underneath where this sewage squirts out. So those sockets keep getting splashed with sewage and liquid, and yeah. So it's really worrying to use the electrics. I mean, I'm not an electrician or a plumber. I don't know if it is dangerous. Obviously, liquid and electrical sockets, that's dangerous, But yeah, I don't know if them sockets work or not. I don't know. But it doesn't seem safe to me, especially as it's sewage coming into a kitchen, you know. It's where I'm preparing and eating food. You know, I don't, it's, oh. But, yeah. So basically, I'm stuck here. I can't move. I'm on the home bid, home swap thing, but there's nothing on there suitable for me because obviously I need the adaptive wet room shower and stuff like that. There are no places available with that, so I'd have to choose somewhere that is unsuitable for me and my disabilities and inaccessible for my disabilities if I want to get out of here, you know, which is no good, because then once I've done that and I'm in that new flat, the council, the housing people, won't do another wet room shower for me because they've already done one here. So then I'm stuck not being able to use a shower, you know. So like, I'm stuck here now. I can't move. They've made it so that I'm stuck, and yeah, unless I win the lottery or win like a big load of money, like millions and millions of pounds, you know, and then I can buy my own house and my own bit of land in the middle of bloody nowhere where no one can bother me. I have no neighbours at all. Just go live my best life out in the middle of nowhere in a shack in a field. It'd be better than this place, you know. But yeah, I'm not that lucky. I'm never gonna win that amount of money. I'm not that lucky. But yeah, so I suppose I've just, because I'm stuck here, I've just got to make the best of it here, you know. And hopefully one day, Nightmare Neighbour will move out. Hopefully. I don't know. We're aiming at getting a new kitchen at the moment because of the plumbing and everything in there. My kitchen's like 20-30 years old, and they're supposed to replace the kitchens and the bathrooms. I believe it was something like every 10 to 15 years they're supposed to replace them. It's in their policy, but maybe their policies have changed. But my kitchen's at least 20, 30 years old. It needed replacing when I moved in, but because I was homeless before I got this place, I was quite young, I weren't too fussed, and I still had good mobility back then, like 18, 19 years ago, I think it was, give or take. But yeah, so I weren't really bothered about any of that. But yeah, because the plumbers that have come in recently, we've had like 3 or 4 come in recently to fix the sink, because the pipe work is very old and it's held together with tape and I don't know, and black mould probably. But yeah, the sink keeps getting blocked and we can't plunge it because when we plunge it, sewage. So we have to call in the council, and they said, yeah, if this keeps happening, they're going to have to come in and replace all this pipe work. And I said, well, yeah, the kitchen does need replacing. And one of the guys goes, yeah, this kitchen is at least 20, 30 years old. It should have been replaced years ago. Why haven't they done it? I said, because it's the council and they like to do the bare minimum. And he sort of was like, yeah, got a point there. You know, and he said, ring the council, speak to them about getting a new kitchen. So we're going to be sorting that out. Because if they're going to rip out the pipe work, they can fix the black mold issue too, because behind my sink there's all tiles, and it's not been. I'm not a tiler. I'm no good at DIY or decorating or any of that stuff. But behind the tiles, between the wall and the tiles, there's a lot of big gaps, empty gaps, between the grouting, because I don't think it's been grouted properly. I don't know. Sort of behind the tiles, there's all black mold growing all up the walls and down, and yeah, it's started sprouting through the rubber sealant stuff around the sink. So I've got black mold around my sink. So every time I wash something up or get a drink, there's risk of it being contaminated with black mold. So yeah, and I think this is why I keep getting issues with my allergies, is because of the black mold. Because every time I stand at the sink for too long, doing washing up or whatever, I start to feel a bit ill and a bit sniffly, and my allergies start acting up. Same thing in the bathroom. If I spend too long in the bathroom, I start to get ill. Same thing in the bedroom. The only room I can be in without feeling ill and without my allergies being kicked up is the living room, this room. This is partly why I've ended up sleeping in here, and I've got a day bed in here now. Because now I spend most of my time in this room, because all the other rooms make me feel ill. But yeah, I'm not eligible for a MIF, so got to make the best of it. And they're gonna come and replace my kitchen. That's the least they could do for me. And whilst they're replacing the kitchen and sorting out the black mould in there, they can sort out that larder cupboard and fucking brick that up, because I'm getting sick of him shouting next door, shouting abuse at me in the mornings and stuff. You know, I know he's been quiet for a few months, but I'm not sure why he's been quiet for a few months. I think he's been focusing more on the upstairs neighbours. That, you know, I don't know. It's just, if I had a magic wand and could magic myself a home, that'd be perfect. But I don't. Anyone out there have a magic wand? Please give it a few waves and say some fancy words and magic me up a house and a bit of land and some stables with horses. That'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know what else to talk about really. Not much else has been going on. Obviously, it's a mess at the moment, but I've had my hair done again. John helped me with this. I went with just the green, the bright neon green this time, rather than the green and purple. So this green, it glows under UV. I'll have to do a video. I might do a little reel on Facebook of my hair glowing under UV later. So if you want to see it glowing, maybe check out Facebook later and you'll see the reel. But yeah, had it dyed, and then John gave it a trim on the sides for me. So it's kind of a mohawk. It's a bit wide, but I don't know. I like it. It's a bit wonky in places as well, but who cares? I like it, and it's easier to manage as well. You know, so but yeah, not much else has been going on. And to be honest, I don't think anything else is going to be going on in the next few weeks, because obviously I'm ill and I'm trying to recover from this. And then obviously because the weather's got colder and wetter now, my health is going to start getting worse. So usually in winter I end up hibernating, so I spend most of my time at home. So probably not much is going to be going on, just housework, me sitting watching Netflix, or me playing video games. So content wise there may not be much. Maybe I can do some videos on baking or something. I don't know, because I do a lot more baking as well in the winter. Usually probably because I'm at home most of the time and I have extra time. So I don't know, maybe some baking videos. I don't know. And some gaming videos maybe. Definitely some videos on Minecraft. Maybe we'll do some today. Yeah. But this has just been a random catch up chat thing. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to take my meds and then, I don't know, probably watch some YouTube stuff for a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall speak to you later. Bye-bye.